Okay, let's do
Thanks for staying with us now. We have Uti in the building.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, tell us what happened, you.
The gods of the road. My tire decided that today was the day that it needed a break. So, we made it here.
Yeah, we made it quickly. I wanted you to take your story before we go into our conversation for today.
So my story, for the people that don't like toll gates and have been complaining, they say FIRS mulls road tax law to increase revenue generation. Now that's not the great part of it. The bill is going, they're working on the bill to introduce road taxes to users. Road taxes by way of toll.
Toll gates.
Now, the beautiful part of this story, you were talking of 1 trillion, no?
Yes.
They aim to raise, they're targeting to raise 10 trillion naira for the entire federation in 2022. But that's not the catch. If they raise the 10 trillion, that 10 trillion is not enough to fix all the roads in Nigeria.
So what does that mean for us?
You will pay toll, but even if they hit targets, they are saying that it will cost more than 10 trillion
to fix the
all
roads.
the roads in Nigeria.
Okay, so what we talked about converting all those looted funds. What if we convert all those things? And
I can't even quantify 10 trillion in my head. I've been trying to count the zeros. So
and 10 trillion is not enough to fix
it's not
roads.
gonna fix your road.
Okay, well, let's leave it there, please. Today we finish what's in the news. All right, so they say a good woman can have an extraordinary effect on a lot of lives. Good women need to be celebrated and cherished every day as they are the building blocks of any societal structure. So Nollywood actor and philanthropist William Suchemba, as I'd mentioned earlier, penned an interesting write-up sometime in July, which says, and I quote, "To all the wives that make life easy for their husband, I want to appreciate my wife and all the wives out there. Being a wife is tasking enough, and being the wife of someone who is everywhere is another level of superhuman, and that is who you are. You put your medical profession on hold, that's the catch, to help me build my goals and dreams. Handling most of my business like I would still amazes me." He went on to thank her and all the wives that make life peaceful and easy for their husbands. So tonight, we are asking, Pico, what defines a good wife or a good woman? Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Okay now. So we were just walking our own JJJ. Uncle Williams now decided to post this lovely write-up about his wife. And of course, I wish Jennifer were here. All the families came out to say, what is the meaning of that? Are you telling me that I'll have to put my life on hold or something? But initial thoughts, let me hear. When you saw the, what's it called? The write-up by William Suchemba. Let me come to you, EC, first. Your initial thought, what came to your head when you saw that quote?
I said,
or
good
that
for
write-up?
him.
Oh, really? Just easy like that?
Just like that. Good for him. It's what works for him. I think for you to say this, my wife is a good wife or is not a good wife, is relative. What works for me might not work for you. So if my wife is a good wife, some people like the slay queen. Some people don't like the slay queen. They'll say too much makeup. I don't like women with too much makeup. You know, so it depends on the individual. What's good? What's that saying about?
What's good for the
no, not what's good for
one
the
man's
gift.
meat, another man's
One
poison.
man's meat is another man's poison. So it depends on what works for the person and how the person prefers his wife to behave. So it's
up to him. So you say good for him.
It's good for him.
Okay, Uti.
Okay. Good for him too. Good for him. No, so I mean, this was really interesting because I remember when he got married. I don't follow pop culture and all that kind of stuff, but I remember when he got married, you know, the wedding was everywhere, and what struck me was that she was gorgeous, and I was like, where you find this chick? But you know, and then you know, the story unfolded. She was a doctor in the UK, and I remember,
was it UK or US?
UK.
Okay.
And I remember thinking at the time that, so what's going to happen? Because at this point, you're telling me that at the time of the wedding that she's working in XYZ hospital, which means she's still in the UK. So what's going to happen? So it's funny that we're having this conversation today because I remember this post and I thought, well, okay, so question answered. So she's going to come back to Nigeria. She's going to support her husband. Again, not a bad thing. I think what struck me was it's okay to celebrate your wife. It's fantastic, in fact, to celebrate your wife and appreciate what she's done. My question there was, does this send a message in the larger conversation? Because it was put out in the public sphere. He is a public figure. And is this sending a subliminal message that says it's okay for women to put everything, drop everything, you know, at the behest of their husband? Now, I don't know what conversations they had before they got married. I don't know her personally, so I don't know what her hopes and dreams and aspirations are. But for me, it was just that thing that was, it was just like an added pressure, a thought that says, okay, fantastic, this one woman has made a choice. I hope everybody that sees it understands that they have a choice, and that the expectation is not that when you do get married, then, you know, you put everything aside and, you know, help your husband live his dream, you know.
While yours is dormant.
Well, so yeah, you know, so that's what it is for me. But I don't have enough information here to pass judgment. But that was just the thing that came to my mind, that look, he's a public figure, he's speaking. Might it have been a conversation that he would have had in private and maybe not put it out in the public sphere in that manner? Potentially. But I'm glad. It's not easy to be a doctor. I was saying yesterday, I'm watching medical dramas these days. It takes a long time. So to give it up for a man, well...
So I have two instances. Someone very close to me, when they just got married, they were both working in the bank. And of course, the guy weighed it and looked at it and said, you know what? You are just a rookie in the bank. I have been in the bank for a while. So, you know, the way bankers move now, and when you move, eventually you get a bigger pay and all of that. So he now resigned for her. And she stayed in the bank while he resigned. Easy breezy was supposed to just be sharp like this. A job was supposed to come. But I think the job took maybe a year or 6 months, I can't remember now, before the job came. And I know through that process, all the while, she, you know, she was very, very supportive. He didn't feel like he made a mistake. That's one. I know somebody else, a medical doctor like this woman. The husband got a job that is a big job. It's not even in Williams or Chambers level. It's a big time job in this country. She was she was abroad, and she thought, okay, you know what? Let her come back so that she can stay by her husband, because it was a very demanding and he needed to be a bit shielded. So she brought the family back. Then on second thought, she thought, you know, medical licenses, you actually need to stay updated. It's not like Nigeria that you don't go school finish, that's it. You just practice. This one, she needs to keep writing her exams and all of that to keep herself making sure that and all that. So in the course of that, she made sure that, you know, she was still relevant, updated and everything. A few months down the line, or maybe like a year or 2 years down the line, something happened and he had to leave that job. Eventually what happened? Everything now fell back on her. So I love the concept that you think it is okay. But you see, as wisdom has told me, because I remember many years ago, a family friend of ours, you know, he was doing so well. He was a big man and everything. The wife wanted to do something. Kept on saying, no, don't do anything, don't do anything, don't do anything. Just stay at home. My money is enough to take care of us, right? And guess what? He lost his job at the end of the day. They just went back to ground zero. So I'm just trying to say that, you know, when you make statements like this, it's fantastic. But if you look at the reality of even the situations of things, I'm not praying for anything negative or anything. Wisdom will tell you that, you see, this thing that you have, you know, you must find a way to work around it. It is not a crime, because a lot of times when I see write-ups like this, it makes it look like a crime for a busy woman or a woman that is really driven, pursuing her career. It makes it look like she's actually committing a crime. That's number one. And I hear people say common things, like in the common areas, you hear people say that, don't worry, her husband will soon drive her away. If you see a really driven woman, and many a times there's a divorce, and I say, she was too busy for the man. So these subtle narratives that we continue to push is where I have a problem with the conversation. Do you understand? So I'm just trying to say that if we strike a balance, you know, it is okay for the woman to be busy. She doesn't have to. See, I can still be that medical doctor and do everything and still be the person that would also support your business. It's just finding a way to juggle things around. But that you put your life completely on hold, I think it's actually, well, like you rightly said, we are not in their caucus. We do not know what is discussed. But I don't think it's actually a wise decision for any woman of today to make.
So
I
now
agree
you
with
hit the nail of
exactly.
the head. There is there are women who are happy to be housewives. I mean, the kind of stress I go through these days, somebody makes me like, you know, good enough. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I can sit at home. But the reality of it is, it's important for everyone to be heard in this kind of situation. It's not, I have no problems with a woman choosing to sit at home. It's your choice. If that's what you want to do, if yes, it makes you happy, yeah, some women, their children are their lives, their homes are their lives, and that's perfectly fine. I don't cry feminist, nah. So if she wants to sit at home, that's fine. Here for me, it's that thing that says, if this person has taken the time to go to medical school, to go through all that process and become a doctor, could she really have wanted to put that all behind her for a man? But then love is a powerful thing, so again, we don't know. But in this day and age, when you put it the way that you put it, is it risky? Yes, because we've seen situations where jobs are lost. We've seen situations where the economy takes a dip, something happens, and then there isn't that income, that job isn't there to carry the family again. So it's a lot of pressure even for the man. But there are still men out there who say, I don't want my wife to work, and that's your prerogative. If you find a woman who's ready to marry you, who's happy with that, absolutely, why not? But there is an important part, which is what I think you were trying to say, that there must be plan B. There must be alternate sources, like, you know, we say multiple streams of income. So we can't say, oh, he's a GM somewhere in a bank somewhere, and so that means we're good, and anything can happen. So you have to have savings, you have to have a plan, you got to have plan B, plan. I mean, in Nigeria, you got to have a plan all the way to
Plan
Z.
Plan Z.
So
I'm telling
in
you,
truth, that
life.
for me is the challenge. But I mean, I want to say it's commendable, even though I'm sure some women will be like, how can she say it's commendable? I won't say it's commendable because to be that selfless.
Wait, but now, Uti, you have hit a wrong spot for me. Does this define selflessness? Because now, if I open the phone lines now and I tell men to call, define a good woman, they will keep
respect
on,
your husband.
Respect your husband. Must be submissive. Everything the husband says you do, you do. You know, so does that really show that you are selfless because you decide that you want to put? Now, I have seen cases where women actually put their lives on hold and say, I want to pursue and everything. 10 or 15 years down the line, they're living in so much bitterness and regret, saying that if I known, I would have, you know, pursued my own personal career. To another thing again, men, after you have suffered with them like this, something will just happen tomorrow. You just see one
second
babe.
wife.
Do you understand? I'm not saying that this is, in fact, let us leave these people aside. So these are things that have happened over the years. So why would you not tell me that it is a show of sacrifice? No, I can sacrifice in other ways.
I'm not saying sacrifice. Now, it's a choice. So remember that if you make a choice, not that you are coerced, not that you are forced, it is possible to still go 20 years down the line and still regret it. I could flip it around and say a woman whose child is sick, who has to go everywhere with her child, or a woman whose child is a celebrity at a young age, she's still putting herself, her
career on hold,
life on hold for this child. There's nothing to say that she will get older tomorrow and the child will not. I mean, look at Beyonce and her father. I mean, there's nothing to say.
Britney Spears.
I mean, the stories are endless. So the reality is there's nothing to say tomorrow that you won't have regrets. But the point is, the decision must be your own. If you then have regrets 20 years down the line, you own it. We all are adults. You make decisions and there are consequences and you deal with it. So there is a line between, yes, if you can say, you know what, I love this man so much that I think that his dreams are worth it and I'm going to put mine on the side. You have made an active decision. So you must own it. If you get 15 years down the line, you can't blame that man. If you are now upset,
no, but they'll be
no, but that's the reality.
This come. You will blame him.
The solution. Let's
we are not in solution yet.
Wait.
Don't go to solution.
Wait.
What has a lot to say?
You people have been bad.
Oh, yeah, no.
But you see, the key thing here is this, you know, I believe that when a woman decides to say, I put my career on hold for the man, one, it stems out of love. Number two, it stems out of selflessness. Number three is the fact that, will this thing benefit both of us at the end of the day? That's where the woman is looking at it from.
I even thought you were going to come from the opposite end.
No, the woman is looking at it. I'm talking about where the woman decides to say, okay, I'm going to do this. That's what she would think of, I think.
That's one very key one.
What?
The selfish woman. The man is rich and he wants it. Don't pass me. Yoruba will say, he not going to pass me. You want me to sit at home? Of course.
Anything you exactly.
Can you afford it? Absolutely. I don't want to work. Sure.
Exactly.
I thought that's where you were going to come from.
No, I was looking at it from the other side of
She's a good girl.
No, another thing is
she's a good wife.
Is a relative. No, rephrase. Good wife is relative. I keep saying it. I might be a bad wife to somebody else, but my husband, I think, thinks I'm a good wife. So it depends on what the definition of a good wife is to a man. That's what I think. So it still comes back again to that context that why is the woman letting go of the of her own dreams and adapting to the man's or adopting the man's dreams. It stems from these three categories that I've thought of. Now, will she regret it along the way? That's another question. So I think she should look for, any woman that is interested in something like this should look for some sort of avenue to make it balanced. What is she going to get? It's not, this is not selfishness, but what is she going to gain from letting go of her career?
Okay, so I heard a very ridiculous story on radio where a young lady got a job and she was so good. She was so good that the job required that she did a master's, right?
Oh yes, I heard that story.
Yeah, you heard the story as well.
Yes.
The job required that she did a master's, but the man now says, no, because I do not have a master's, you can't have it.
And get a master's.
You know the funny thing, the company was willing to actually pay for it because they loved her so much, they didn't want to let her go.
The wrong man now. That's the end of discussion.
No, so this is the way I'm driving this example that I'm giving is time and time again, right?
Women have to let go.
These things always play out subtly. That it is only very like the rare men that I've told you about now. That the one say he will resign and let the woman, be the one to, even though he was not sure of another job, right? They are very rare. Those men that will say, you know what, let me push this person. Why is it all the time a decision for somebody to put her career or whatever on the ground,
hold,
and it is always expected that it is the woman? Why?
Well, what does your culture say? How are we raised? Why are you at 20, 25 fasting and praying for a man? It's your culture. That's how you're raised. So I don't know why all of a sudden you're saying, why is it? That's how we were raised. You were raised to be good. You were raised to sit, close your legs, cross your legs while you sit down, cook, clean, sweep. Did they not tell you when you were being raised, if you cannot cook, how will you feed your husband? If you cannot clean your house will be clean. Did they not ask you all those questions? That's how we are raised. Accept it. So if you get to this point now, you as an individual, which is why I said the example that you gave, the person married a bad man. Because if we are coming together as a union, as a partnership, you want what's best for me. You can't have your ego say, okay, that's completely stupid. Where is this said? A master's. You have a degree, I have a degree. Have a master's, not going to cost you a dime. And that's a horrible person, whether he was a man or a woman. End of discussion. So there are men out there, you make mistakes. Absolutely.
You have to manage that mistake.
You own your mistakes. But the reality of it is, even as women, we are nurturers. This conversation we're having today, we're talking about children. Hands down, even you drop everything for your boys. End of discussion. So we are designed that way. So if you decide to then say, I love this man so much, oh my heart.
But if I had known Uti, I would have pursued something. But when I see the fruit of my labor, I thank the Lord. But you see, I'm saying to you that, see, economically, it's not a wise decision.
No.
Then you
understand?
It's called sacrifice.
No. Economically, it is possible in today's age.
It's sacrifice.
Let me tell you, it is possible in today's day and age that she's not working as a doctor, but she's still making money.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's a lady who I've watched on YouTube for many, many years. In fact, I've been watching her for maybe 5 or 6 years. Before, she's Jamaican, I think, or Caribbean. And then one day she just says, oh, I live in Japan. She's married to a Japanese man. Like, it was the last thing I would have ever expected. That chick is home 24/7. Her only job is to make YouTube videos. So you don't, she's working. That's her job. But she's at home. Her man goes to work. Everything. She's home.
This is a brilliant angle.
It doesn't even matter.
Which was my solution, but you people said I should not talk solution.
No, it doesn't matter because I'm just trying to address the multiple sources of income in today's age. You don't have to. It's not the 9 to 5 that's the only way. There are other ways. But even if she chose, if you chose not to have alternate income, that's a bit silly. But even if she chose to just sit home, do manicures, like you said, the slay queen, if that's her choice, it's okay. All me I'm saying is only
It's what
your
works for
choices.
her.
So that tomorrow, should the money dry up, because you know what happens? The money dries up, the quarrel starts, the fights happen. That's when you remember, I made this decision because I love you. Then we get to the problem.
What really is
Own
love?
it.
You know what? Let's take a break. I want to open phone lines. I want to hear what a man would define as a good
But we
wife.
know what they're gonna say.
I don't want to assume. We'll be right back. Now, if you just tune in, it's our ladies' night out, and we are asking who really is a good wife or a good woman, and what will make you call your wife or partner a good woman. Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. So our phone line is now open. You can call us on 07025007749. That's 07025007749. Please, when you call, you know the rule. Keep it within a minute and turn off the volume of your television set. Thank you as you cooperate. All right, so it's actually interesting that we're having this conversation. So I have seen that, first of all, before you even go giving a blanket conversation, is it possible for us to start picking the strength of each woman? So you have a wife or you have a partner, you know her strength. So maybe she might just be that intellectual powerhouse and you play to her strength. Maybe she's the very, very cooking type and whatever, you play to her strength. I've seen that a lot of times, even with my marriage, at some point we struggled with a lot of things until we came to a conclusion. I'm not a market goer. I hate to go to the market to shop for nothing. Like, I just do not like that process. But when you bring anything home and you say, I would want you to help me make whatever, I can sit down in the house and cook everything I need to cook. But that process of shopping, but I see that women enjoy it, whether they use it until they get some money and say, hey, you see, she enjoys it. Me, I do not like the process of going to go and pick how much is it in Shaki. I don't like it. So for a while, it became an issue, after, but when we got to that understanding, now, especially God now blessed him, he became a farmer. So anything I need, I'll just call, say, please, your way, bring this home.
Import it.
So immediately he started sending in all of those things. But I'm saying that what we need to do, I think we have a call, Peter from Benin. First of all, come back. Our very first caller.
Our Benin callers.
Our Benin callers, they're always representing.
Very dedicated.
And go to the world.
To the world.
Peter, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good evening.
Thank you for calling, Peter.
Peter.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So
Good
who
evening, ladies.
is a good wife,
Good
Peter?
evening.
Yeah, the topic is very good. Who is a good wife? Yeah, I would have preferred who is a good human being.
Abio.
But let me stick to the conversation. For me, a woman is the foundation of the home. And by the law of nature and divinity, a woman is a support to a man. We must understand the fact that a woman was not created to be the head and to take care of the home. A man is supposed to take charge.
Here we go again.
When people bring narrative about masters, he was supposed to go out to believe it's just part of the social media story. But that's another discussion for another day. I want to believe what makes a good woman is very simple. Any marriage that must succeed must be based on sacrifice and understanding. Sacrifice and understanding.
Thank you.
I don't believe a woman is supposed to take care of the home. Any man that wants a happy home must not allow a woman to take care of the home.
Okay,
if a woman has a career, support her.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much for calling. So why did she go to school?
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. But thank you, Peter, for calling. But we need to hear more calls. Let's hear what you would define, or who you would define as a good woman. So the point Peter raised, now I'm even confused. I don't even know what to say. But the point he raised about men having to take care of the home, I thought we've moved past that narrative. Because all the explanation I gave about how people lost their jobs is not enough to say, okay.
Now, a man taking care of his home has nothing to do with this conversation. A man is responsible. Let's be clear.
True.
A man is responsible for taking care of his home.
Yeah.
There are responsibilities. I always say it. You were on that side of the street, I was on this side of the street.
And you
made a
walked up
decision to cross over to the street and come and say, hey, babe. So if you're going to do that, you better be ready for the responsibility that comes along with it. Now, I went to school, or I have a business, whatever it is. I was looking after myself before we met. When you come together in a union, there is a conversation that you have to have between us that says, what do we look like as a couple?
Okay, hold on that thought. Kristen from Abuja, thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say. Today, not today. Kristen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, you're live. Let's hear what you have to say.
What I call a good woman is a woman who would consider her family, consider her husband as a friend in building a home. The reality is, many women are just married for being married, or a man just got married for being married, but not looking at the substance called marriage. What if you are on a journey of life that requires commitment? And if what I always say to a woman is that you must ask yourself first, where this man is going, do you want to follow him there? If you know the man is going on a direction that is not going to allow your career, don't because of I'm not yet married, I'm 25, I'm running 30, I have to get a job. So many marriages are based on some of these things.
Thank you, Kristen.
And that's why the difficulty.
Thank you, Kristen. I think that's a very fantastic, because but again, Kristen, you know that it is also society that has pressured us to say if you are not married or you do not have children, you are not a woman.
Well, there's that too.
There's that too. But you were saying
strength of themselves. So so the decision of who you are, both of you together as a couple, that is a joint decision.
Yeah.
Now, what you decide is your business. There are men who would happily say, I will sit at home. There are men who, I've seen it before, you go and visit a couple and the man is the one cooking, the man is the one serving, and just like Uwa said, I don't do market. There are some men who are like, yeah, I don't mind if you don't do market. Me, if I don't go to the market, I probably fall sick. But, different folks.
Different strokes. Let me take Sly from Lagos. He's been holding. Thank you for calling. You have to turn off the volume of your TV. I thanked you in advance.
Hello?
Yes, thank you, Sly, for calling.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say.
This is an interesting topic. Who is a good wife?
Yeah, so...
my own definition. But you can't really have a specific definition of a good wife. A good wife, for me, is a woman who gives me peace of mind. That always makes my home sweet and loving. And wherever I am, I always want to run home. A woman who is teachable, a woman who is humble, a woman who listens to me, a friend, and who forgives. That's my definition of the good wife. Me.
Thank you, Sly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's a beautiful summation. Like Uti said, I said Uti, Isi had mentioned earlier that being a good wife is relative. Yeah, that's what you said. So this is his definition. I was just going to ask that when you say when she listens to you, so does it mean that
he listens to her?
when she? No, he says when she listens to him.
Yeah, that's what, as long as he listens to her.
No,
also.
the question I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to drag the call, is okay. When you say listen, is that I have given you an instruction or we have a communication to say we want to reach a decision. Do you understand? Because it's two different things.
Yeah.
Some will just give you, this is what you need to do, you do it, and end of so that way I'm happy. Or we have a dialogue to say, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea or it's a bad idea? You know.
But even in this definition,
I once watched a comedy that there was an elderly couple and there was a younger couple. The elderly couple said, no, the younger couple, they always argued about one thing or the other. And the elderly couple, when she wants the man to do something, she just tells him, okay, if you don't do it, you won't get this. Okay? Now, it comes back to the dynamics of the relationship. How do you interact? How do you communicate?
Absolutely. Let me take Tony. I'll come back to you, Isi.
Okay.
From Imo State. Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say. Hello, Tony. Are you there? Our Imo brothers.
Good evening, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Uti, is this your smile for me today? Well done. I think a good man for me has to be someone who, prior to marriage, you have discussed and both of you have agreed to do the journey together despite the challenges. So which means it's a company. You are working together to achieve the goals you have set out for yourself. Personal development growth, family growth as well, finances and economy. You know what the world is all about today around the economy. And okay, also as Africans, considering family members from the wife and from the man. So it's a complex one.
Exactly.
But I think we have a challenge. Most folk happily discuss these things. People jump into marriage. I just want to get married. Some of these secrets you don't know about. So when the challenges come, like finances, the man is challenged. Sometimes they expect the woman to support the issue. So there's a whole lot of things, but couples will make it up for themselves what they really need. Well done, guys.
Thank you
so much.
You know, when they keep saying about talking about people not having clear-cut conversations
Before marriage.
This is very important. I mean, in all honesty, I wish certain kinds of conversations had happened before I got into marriage. It would have been a totally different ballgame, you know, because we have too many high expectations when it comes to marriage. A lot of high expectations. The man has an ideology, or he's been painted a picture of what a wife or a good wife should be. And if she's not meeting it up, because I keep on asking, why are you even married? Why do you need a wife? Let's break it down in fairness. Is it sex? You can get it from anywhere. Is it cooking? Anybody can cook food for you. Just get your money and get a good chef. You will get a good meal to eat. Is it cleaning? Please, there are cleaners everywhere that somebody can clean your house. So why really do you need that person that you call a wife? You know, because if you have summed up all the roles, cook for me, clean for me, you know, and all of that, why do you really? Because if it's for all of those things, you truly can get it there. So if I am in a relationship with you, you are my husband, I would expect that as you are growing, you would also want me, the things that I've had in the belly, I told you that these are my dreams and my aspiration. You would also want me to do like
with me.
It would be unfair for me to put my life on hold to say because I see where you're going and I want to, you know, it would be unfair, you know, for any man. But I do not know, Sha. It's not my own
Belief
medical.
systems are different, though.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
Oh, Sugar, we have a call from Uganda.
Oh, wow.
That's new. Hi, Frank. Abi Farouk, rather. From Uganda. Thank you for calling. Today.
Good evening.
Thank you, Farouk, thank you for calling.
Well done for a beautiful topic tonight.
Thank you.
The bottom line in any relationship to describe who is a good wife, to me, is just understanding. An understanding wife will make sacrifice for the husband, for the general uplift of the family.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Farouk. You're going to say then I'll come to you, see you'll wrap up.
I think I've actually lost what you're talking. But no, so the definition for me, when you were speaking and you say, you find that even in having those conversations early, people change. And the question that I wanted to ask, or what I was thinking when you were speaking, was how many men today do you think are married to the right woman? Now, when I say the right woman, I'm not talking submissive. The woman that, if you believe in the word, if you say, okay, flesh of my flesh, bone of my flesh, if you believe that, how many people are married to the right person? The same cultural pressures that we carry as women, men carry it too.
True.
So you find that a man has been dating a woman that he really loves, but maybe his family or his friends don't think she's good enough. And he drops her, he marries somebody else. Then he's still carrying on with that woman. He married the wrong person. And I personally believe a lot of people are married to the wrong people in this country today. You have mothers pressuring their sons to give them grandchildren. You have women carrying the pressure of I'm not a missus. So many things. Even the wedding day has become bigger than the marriage. So a lot of people are now in places where they have no business being.
Let me take Alex from Jos, then I'll take Isi's final comment. Alex, are you there? Thank you for calling.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for calling, Alex. Let's hear what you have to say.
It's a pleasure to be on the program.
Thank you.
What a wonderful topic.
Thank you.
Men love
Who
this
is a
topic.
good woman? Good wife. Simply put, a good wife is that life partner that each time you're out there, you feel like running back home.
Wow.
Each time you're stressed off out there, you feel like coming in. There's always communication between the two of you. You want her to grow, she wants you to grow. She embraces your entire family in as much as the way you embrace hers. You live, grow together till death do you part.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex.
Definition
of a good wife. Thank you.
Each time I'm out there, I feel like running back home.
Oh, you must be having a ball.
That's an awesome call to
That's an awesome call.
See,
how are you, Isi?
You know, there was something with that last caller. What resonated with me is the fact that he is in a relationship that he's quite comfortable in.
He's at peace.
He's at peace. See, when you're in a relationship that you're at peace, the fact that you're making one sacrifice or the other, you might not even think about it as a sacrifice. So it is essential that, like you said, before you get into the marriage, you have that long talk. What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Now, if you are already in that marriage, now this is my solution. If you're already in that marriage and the man isn't listening to you, look, women, we are born to be wise. Let's do it right. I'm not saying you should ignore the man. I'm saying you should plan your life.
Okay.
The optimist.
Now, my
Plan your
producer,
life.
I mean my director,
Yes.
he say his last call. Last call, please. Austin from Benin. We cannot not but have Austin from Benin every time. Thank you for calling. Let's quickly hear what you have to say.
I'm sorry. Good evening.
Hi, Austin. Quickly, let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry for coming in late. I'm going to use a friend as an example. I have this friend of mine. He told me one day that, Austin, do you know what? I can wake up at 2 a.m. and my wife will go to the kitchen and prepare food for me to eat.
Austin, don't finish her for us.
It will not
He
work.
told me that when his mother was sick, when his mother was on a wheelchair, you know, the wife, the kind of thing that even any other person would not do, the wife was doing it for his mother. Watch the mother up and all that. And you know, for me, anytime I travel to where he is, I have other friends in that location, but I usually stay in his place because of the attitude of his wife, because of the kind of person his wife is. And guess what? In spite of the fact that the guy is physically challenged, he has done a lot better than the rest of us.
Thank
Because
you
of the
so
support
much, Austin.
he has got from his wife. So
Thank
for
you.
me, when we're talking about a good wife, I use her as a typical example.
Thank you, Austin. You know, quickly, someone told me something. Family said, there's something about you. I never pretended about who I was from day one. So he said, can you not be like, he was referring to me, can you not be like her? You do it, you'll be smiling all nice, you'll be doing it, but inside your heart, you are grumbling, you are complaining. I cannot do the one I cannot do, Pico. The one I can do.
Thank Ade. Ade says, ways ladies are good wives and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ade.
You can't read the rest of it. I'm actually run out of time. But thank you, Issy. Thank you. I think we had a fantastic conversation. Should we do a part 2? I don't know. Hey.
What about the good husband?
I want to hear about
What about good husband?
Abi, we should do good husband. Who is a good husband?
Who is a good husband?
Maybe we'll do that.
Maybe
next
the women
week.
will call them.
Then the women will call.
No, it's still the men that will call to define the good husband. But thank you everyone that called. We're sorry we couldn't take some messages and calls. Thank you everyone. We really do appreciate when you make the conversation fun for us. So before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, we're planning a giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand and following the conversation. So do also follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can invite and share, like all our comments, and invite your family and friends as well. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. This quote is very powerful. A good woman is one who loves passionately, has guts, seriousness, and passionate convictions that takes responsibility and shapes society. So it's not just about one man. A good woman thinks global. She thinks impact. Okay? We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.